Deep in the shadowy heart of the DC universe, sorcery takes tangible form. June Moon, an ordinary woman, once trespassed into an otherworldly chamber. It was there, with a single incantation, she transformed into Enchantress, a force of raw, chaotic magic, ancient and unpredictable. Bound only by a fragile human conscience. Thousands of realms away, in the forbidding wilds of Asgardian myth, Hela reigns with an iron grip. Styled the goddess of death, her very presence carries the hush of the grave, ruling the underworld where even gods must answer when they die. They are harbingers, both wielders of spirit and doom, both feared even among immortals. Day, their worlds are set to collide. The question, which is deadlier? The unpredictable Enchantress or the inexorable Hela? Enchantress's origins are inseparable from the forces she wields. She is no mere sorceress. She is a living conduit of eldritch energies, capable of unraveling the fabric of reality itself. At her strongest, the Enchantress commands the full spectrum of arcane arts elemental manipulation. Teleportation, mind control, even the transmutation of matter. Allies and adversaries alike have witnessed her overwhelm entire superhero teams with 5 words of dark sorcery. Yet her power exists in dichotomy. The fragile mind of June Moon attempts to contain her alter ego's insatiable hunger for chaos. Should Enchantress break free, her rampage's catastrophic cities, even dimensions, can fall as victims to her whims. But chaos, for all its devastation, lacks the chilling finality of death. Hela embodies death itself, for she is the first child of Loki, raised in the bleak shadow of Hel and Niflheim. Destined as the keeper of souls, Hela's command extends not just over the dead, but over death as a cosmic force. She raises armies with a mere gesture, commanding spirits, Draugr, and the unquiet dead. Her touch means the end. Her blade rends immortal flesh. And even the likes of Thor and Odin tremble before the idea of open war with Hel's mistress. On the battlefield, Hela's presence brings an inexorable certainty. Every blow she makes inches her enemy closer to total oblivion. Both goddesses wield magics beyond mortal comprehension, but the manner and magnitude differ. Enchantress, at her apex, has shattered magical seals, usurped the power of ancient demons, reshaped reality, dabbled in the forbidden art of erasing memories, bodies, and destinies alike. She is a wild card, unpredictable, unstable, and fiercely cunning. She draws upon chaos, feeding off the agony and confusion she generates. Her enemies know better than to let her speak, for her spells manifest with only a whispered phrase, bypassing conventional defenses. Hela, meanwhile, is the epitome of unstoppable will, her power immortal, her realm unassailable by all but the bravest gods. In her dominion, she is omnipotent, able to reshape reality with a sweep of her hand. Summoning swords from the very shadows and withering the souls of the living, warriors who fall before her may rise again, unwilling, forced to fight forever in her name. She can withstand blows from Thor's hammer, shatter enchanted weapons, and crucially, she cannot die so long as there are souls who perish her strength and persistence sustained by death itself. Suppose we imagine a battleground unbound by continuity, a domain woven together from Asgardian mist and the shifting magical currents of the DC universe. There stands Enchantress, green-cloaked eyes gleaming with wild storm-filled power, her voice echoing with forbidden words. Opposite, Hela, regal, unsmiling, her shadow stretching longer than any blade, an aura cold enough to frost iron. Enchantress would strike with an onslaught of hexes, conjuring illusions, phantasms, dimensional folds, and energy blasts. Her strategy thrives on unpredictability. She is a storm in human form. Should she seize the upper hand, she might use her famed soul manipulation, tempting to unweave Hela from within, or perhaps banish her to a prison dimension where no dead walk. Yet Hela is no ordinary quarry. In battle, she reveals why she is called the goddess of death. She shrugs off most spells. Her necromantic powers can counter the Enchantress's wraiths, overwhelming them with her own legions. Hela's touch is the antithesis of chaos. It is cold, grounding, final. Every wound she inflicts leeches vitality. Her very presence blunts even magical attacks, as she draws power from every fallen being. But Enchantress is dangerous precisely because of her unpredictability. If she seizes upon Hela's moments of overconfidence, her brief lapses in the tide of undeath, she might find purchase. Yet should she fail, she risks succumbing to Hela's ceaseless, inevitable grip. Even now, Hela stands as the line between life and oblivion, her power waxing with every pulse of dying energy around her. So who is deadlier? Enchantress is devastation incarnate, a storm of chaos that even gods fear in her wildest moment. Hela, however, is the patient tide of death that none can resist, the terminus of all cycles. The final stillness after the storm. Death cannot be tricked or bargained with for long, and in the end, chaos itself must yield to entropy. In a contest of deadly goddesses, Enchantress brings destruction and madness, but Hela endures, unyielding, certain. Between two forces that walk among the highest tiers of supernatural might, it is Hela the inevitable who casts the longer, colder shadow. But the question endures, as immortal as its subjects. Which darkness is more frightening, the wild ruin of chaos, or the silent, inescapable promise of death?